Hello everybody and welcome to Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the new Pokemon Go set, make sure you check out the Potown store where you can get 5% off your order using code Omnipoke. Today I'm here with a very special guest. Obviously we've just had the World Championships and Ondrej has been kind enough to join us for an interview, basically talking about the event, talking about his season, what led up to the World Championships and then how he did end up winning the World Championship. So yeah, we're going to jump straight into it. Ondrej, welcome. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I'm glad we've been able to get down to this. It's been a week. I suppose it's finally kind of started to sink in that you are
Finally.
the 2022 World Champion, which is a massive achievement. So first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
For anyone that doesn't know, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been playing, that kind of stuff, just so people get a little bit of an insight about you?
So yeah, my name is Ondrej Skubal. I'm from the Czech Republic. I've been playing for about, I think, 11 years. And yeah, like I every year I probably travel to like most of the regionals, most of the special events, and I try my best. And it finally worked out.
Yeah, I mean, you're not unfamiliar to success. Obviously, there's been many, particularly IC placements. The one that sticks out to me was your Florges placement at LAIC, the top 8, which was obviously one of the other bigger ones. But yeah, 11 years is a long time, and like you say, you've finally been able to check that world champion mark off the bucket list. That's a huge achievement. So yeah, congratulations. Obviously, this season was a bit weird. We split it up. It was split up because of COVID. We had sort of the half season before and then after. How were things going pre-COVID? Were you in a position where I think you were sort of fighting for top 22 at that point already, right?
Yeah, I was already in the top 22, but it was kind of weird because like I basically didn't make like any points besides the Florges top 8. I played like Pikaram and Reshizat and made like 40 points at certain regions like Sheffield or something like that. Yeah, but I was still somehow in the top 22 because I like finished all the league challenges, all the league cups with 40 points at least from each. So yeah, I was like 15 or something like that before COVID.
Yeah. And then obviously, so you going into, I guess, Liverpool, you're already in a fairly good position. We knew that they were going to be extending it to top 44 rather than top 22. So I guess that also took the pressure off a little bit because it meant that you know, it didn't, even if everything went completely wrong, realistically, because you already had that really good threshold. I would imagine top 44 felt really achievable, let alone top 22. Yeah, makes sense.
There was probably not really a reason to like travel for me to every regionals to get the top 22, like was like top 44, top 22, like the traveling cost compared to the stipend from top 22, like I mean.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily worth it, but yeah, that makes sense. And I guess, like you say, it meant that you didn't have to travel as much. Post COVID, did you go to much? I know you went to a few things, but did you go to everything or?
No. I went to Liverpool. Like we tested a lot to Liverpool, and then I did really bad. So I like didn't really have energy to test for more big events after that.
Yeah.
I attended Frankfurt, obviously, and then Bremen regionals. But I had also a lot of stuff for my university, so like I didn't really attend Lille, Bilbao, and one more I think. Yeah, the Italian special.
Yeah. Yeah, so just a few events, I guess, but that
just like half of them, yeah.
Yeah, but that worked out because I think you finished. Was it 25th in? Was it 25th?
It was 25th, but yeah, I missed out on the top 22, like barely.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's it's unfortunate, but I guess because you had that buffer to begin with, it meant that you were in a little bit of a better position going into this side of COVID to be able to take your foot off the gas a little bit. So yeah, for those 3 tournaments, I know we played in Liverpool where you played Mew, but what did you end up playing for EUIC and Bremen in the end?
Well, EUIC we played the One Prize of Darkness type deck with Zapdos. We were like discussing if it's Zapdos or Shifu, and then we decided to go with Zapdos, and obviously it wasn't the correct choice.
Yeah.
That was that.
And then Bremen was your other sort of well, this pre-Worlds, this side of COVID was your other successful tournament. You finished, was it?
Yeah, basically I just needed a break from school, from studying every day, so I just like took like what I liked. I didn't even test for the event,
Yeah.
like 0 games, and I just went with it.
I remember. Yeah, I remember just before the tournament, you weren't even like planning to go, right? You booked the tournament about a week before. Yeah. And yeah, day 2, so that was a.
Didn't sold out like instantly, so that was good.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a nice addition. A day 2, especially, always feels good off the back of a tournament where you sort of were just going to go to the tournament rather than going to necessarily do well. So that's always a nice one. So yeah, that led to, obviously we had those tournaments. We had NAIC, which brought in Astral Radiance, but we didn't really have any tournaments in Europe for those. So it was just NAIC, which you didn't attend. So basically, for at least Europe, outside of the people that went to NAIC and I guess Milwaukee, Worlds was a pretty like new event. There was not only Astral Radiance, but there was Pokemon Go as well. So there was kind of like 1.5 sets of new cards. How did your prep go? What were you sort of thinking going into Worlds? Where did you start testing, and what sort of happened? What was that journey like?
Yeah, when I was watching NAIC stream, like I had no idea what Palkia did. So, like I needed to catch up a lot. And the testing started like the second half of July after I finished my stuff at school. And yeah, I started learning how to play Arceus Inteleon, I started how to play Palkia, and then just like ended up on Pikachu after all.
Yeah. Obviously, we'd seen the results from Pika. Azul obviously did really well, but your list was a bit different. It played the Decidueye, which kind of had been chatted about a bit, but also played sort of some slightly different counts. And it wasn't a different deck compared to Azul's, but it was, I feel, different enough to be able to say they are 2 separate ways of building it. What sort of, did you start with Azul's list and then straight more towards what you ended up playing?
Yeah, we started with Azul's list, and then I played a couple of like tournaments with Arceus Inteleon, and there was like no way Azul list Arceus Pikachu beats Arceus Inteleon, so like we needed to figure out a way. And then I like saw the Decidueye as a potential way.
Yeah.
And yeah, we somehow figured out the way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out. It was a pretty good meta call on the day, and obviously compared to we'll get to your actual Worlds tournament in a minute, but compared to a lot of the other Pikachu lists that you played during that event, yours was way more consistent, primarily because you played the barrel compared to things like Jolteon and stuff, but also just because you were playing 4 of the really important cards, you were playing just maximum consistency, trying to do exactly what you wanted, which I think for a tournament like Worlds is actually a really, really good thing to do. For things like League Cups and stuff, you can take a few risks here and there with lists, but for big regionals, for ICs, for Worlds, it makes sense to just go as consistent as possible.
We didn't like the Dark package, the Crobat VMAX, Dark Energy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like in going into the new matchup, we just like went with Marnie Prey, I guess, or just Marnie Path Prey, or just Path Prey, and
yeah. Which is always it's always a little bit scary, but I feel like, you know, it's a good enough strategy, and especially given that it's kind of been the one thing, other than the random Dark package that obviously is a bit more combo heavy, it's the one thing that Mew really does not like to see. So yeah, it makes sense. Maybe like not the best answer against Mew, but just a good enough answer that then ends up getting you there.
Answer, just ended up working. So
yeah, for sure. So yeah, you went into the tournament day 2. Was there anything that you saw, first off, was there anything that you saw day 1 that sort of worried you or anything? I feel like I remember chatting to you and you said you were pretty much locked in regardless of kind of what happened day 1, unless there was something that completely ruined it.
Yeah, I'm not really a reactive player, so like I cannot just pick some new 60 and like play the other day. So I was locked on the deck, but I was considering like adding some Dark package, because the day 1 at Worlds there was like a lot of Mewtwo V Union.
Yes.
Like, it was the 3rd most played deck, but like by a lot. I expected it to be the 3rd most played deck, but not that much.
Yeah.
So that was a bit scary, but then I decided not to go with Dark package anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was kind of discussed that people were expecting Mewtwo to turn up just because of one, how popular these kinds of decks are in the community when they're kind of known. Think it, like Pidgeot and Florgestals and that kind of stuff. When there's a good control deck that is not basically a Sander control deck that's got a million one-offs and it's understandable to play, the community really picks them up, so that makes sense. But yeah, Mewtwo was everywhere day one. But it was kind of an unwritten rule that a lot of people thought it just wasn't going to be a particularly good day 2 pick. So obviously a pretty good call. I don't remember seeing really many at all in day 2. I think I saw like 1 or 2 Japanese players that brought it, but that was about it. So yeah, nice call on that for sure. So yeah, your tournament itself, I know obviously there was 8 rounds during the day. Were there any rounds in particular other than the top 8? We'll talk about the top 8 specifically in a minute, but out of the 8 rounds that you did play sort of in Swiss, were there any that sort of stuck out to you?
Yeah, there was a one that I played against a player from Australia. I was playing Palkia, and I was drawing really bad, and I needed to fly twice in a row to win, and I
Nice.
did. And then I got 3-0.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's never something you want to have to use, but it's a nice sort of backup option of Pika, I guess, that you can get away with using, which is nice. So
like,
yeah,
this thing throughout the like 12 days that we played Arceus Pikachu, like I never used fly.
Yeah.
And then during day 2, like every other game almost.
I mean, yeah, it's like you say, it's not something you ever want to have to use, but it's at least something you can use in a pinch. And obviously, if the coin flips are on your side, it's actually a really, really strong move, especially when combined with something like a Mania or a Path. It's really difficult to actually deal with anything. So yeah, top 8. So yeah, then this year we obviously had that asymmetrical cut, but we knew you were locked in for top 8. Your top 8 was Mew, which I think you've kind of explained on a lot of your posts so far, that realistically that was probably one of the worst decks you could have been paired up to in top 8. You were
it's no other deck that I would be more afraid of.
Yeah, so it's not a great matchup. How are you feeling going into that top 8? Were you sort of just knowing it's Marnie, Path and Prey? Was there anything you thought maybe you could try and outplay or anything, or was it just literally going to be a let's see if I can stick a Path and hope?
Yeah, to be fair, like I tested 0 games against Mew with the deck. Like it was just theoretical.
Yeah.
So like it was Marnie Path, but what like we figured out is that I need to dig deep with Crobat turn 1, like whatever it takes. So just like if I have like 2 cards in my hand and they go first, and I don't have Arceus with energy, I'd rather go for Crobat than just the Arceus.
Okay.
And like go for more than just the just the Arceus. I need like Path as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Rather than trying to just do basically what every Arceus deck wants to do is just energy turn 1, knowing that it's a bad matchup, you have to take a risk and dig for a bit more, which I think is a really big thing. And we'll get to a couple of things about how to improve as a player in a moment, but that's a really, really good thing to sort of note. Knowing when to take those kind of risks, especially when you know you basically want Path to be locked in for the rest of the game, so there might even be an opportunity to use that bat at some point. So yeah, very, very nice. So yeah, not a great matchup to go into top 8, but Path stuck. You were able to navigate your way through top 8, which, like you say, I think you've said you were pretty convinced that was probably the worst matchup around the top 8 for you to be playing. So going into top 4, I would imagine it was a bit of a balance. Did you feel calmer because you knew it was a better matchup, especially given that it was basically a mirror but you were more consistent, or did you was there any point where the pressure was on you, starting to think, okay, I'm in the top 4 of the World Championships here, or were you sort of treating it like any other tournament?
No, like after I won against the Mew deck, I just like felt very confident about the rest of the event, because I was facing good matchups after that. But going into the mirror, I needed 1 game to figure out where to put my energy with Trinity, Nova Trinity Charge, so I needed a bit of a learning curve. And then like game 3 during top 4, I removed my glasses from my head because like I priced 2 Bidoof and I was like certain that I'm gonna be eliminated at that moment.
Mm.
That was the moment when I thought that the tournament is over for me.
Yeah,
And,
it was.
and somehow,
It was.
somehow
I think everyone in the hall basically felt your pain when you when you were doing that first deck search and you were like, "Oh, okay, don't let it be like this. Don't let it be like this." But yeah, you managed to navigate that one as well, picking up the Bidoofs here and there and just making your way through. Like you say, even though you didn't have access to the Bidoofs and Babara straight away, just having a more consistent list in the mirror, I think, to be honest, was the biggest advantage you had, right?
I almost gave him 2-0 as well, but then he flew game 2 as well and won.
It was, I mean, I guess Fly was there, both sides of the coin that day. But yeah, either way, you managed to navigate top 4. And obviously, it wasn't a 60 card mirror, it was a 59 card mirror, or 59 card same matchup. But were you feeling, after beating that top 4, were you feeling confident going into Championship Sunday that you had a real good chance to do this now?
Yeah, I would like to say that I felt confident because like the matchup was the same like the day before, but I was really nervous. Like I don't think I've ever been that nervous.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable. It's literally the biggest tournament of the year, right? So I think it's very justifiable that even in what looks like a very strong matchup for you, you're probably thinking, right, let's not mess up here.
Stage, but like before, the waiting is horrible.
Yeah, because obviously they do all of junior, seniors, masters, and the seniors game was really long as well. So I guess you were just sitting, sort of waiting, being like, I want to do this. I want to get involved.
With Daichi in the backstage, and the game just wasn't finishing.
But yeah, the finals came. Obviously, it was a bit back and forth here and there at points. There was a couple of turns I was there, and I was like, oh god, I really hope this isn't it. But you navigated, and
it felt like I was losing both of the games, and then just like I think it was all about him not drawing into bosses or something like that.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. You were playing ways to draw cards outside of supporters, so he was having to spend supporters to find those bosses, and you were just, I mean, at the end of the day, it was like a Marnie that got you into the boss. But obviously, you were drawing more cards, which I think is everything you've said about sort of how that matchup went, and even your post game interview with Anna, you said if there's one piece of advice I have to give, it's play the barrel, because the barrel just draws cards. So it's a good card, it's a very good card. So yeah, I would imagine just playing that boss's orders, I would imagine that would have been pretty unreal. How did you, like, the moments after, how did you feel? Was it just...
Nah, it was like I wasn't feeling like anything special because like I guess things like this come very slow to me. Like I need to like realize it after everything happens. So
it was just sort of
it was like I won a game, like I won a normal game.
Yeah, you just won a round at a regionals or whatever. Yeah. But that's
like when I compare myself to like other world's winners, or even like top 8 when Otavio won or James when won, like it's like uncomparable, and I feel like kind of weird about my emotions. But
well, I remember you played it and you just sort of like you didn't put your head in your hands, but you just sort of like looked at the audience, and it was just like you were realizing, wait, I've done it. This isn't just any other round at a regional or anything like that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, fantastic. Congratulations. And obviously, you will be imprinted in the history of Worlds now. You're going to have your deck printed. You're now a Worlds winner. You've got a trophy. You've got all of the cool swag. So yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
How many Worlds have you attended at this point? What number was this?
This was number 4.
Okay, so your 4th Worlds, not a bad achievement. Have you day 2'd all of the ones up until this year?
I had probably invite for more than 4, but it was all the time in America, and I never like had money to travel to America, so I only played the ones that I had stipend with day 2.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, so that's fantastic. Obviously, off the back of this, we're actually already only 3 weeks away from the next tournaments for 2022-2023, which feels crazy. I feel like, especially after Worlds, I just wanted to rest. So it's kind of crazy that we're already getting into the next season, though. What are your plans this season? Are you going to be playing? Are you going to be going for that top 22 again, trying to defend your title, or are you going to take it easy?
Yeah, I want to play like most of the big events in Europe, because like this year in university is supposed to be like an easier one. I hope so. Yeah, I will travel to most of it. But yeah, I already have the like travel award to Yokohama, so I feel like I already feel like chill.
Yeah, you can. I guess that's a luxury. You can take it easy, knowing that this time next year you will at least be able to say you've been to Worlds and you haven't had to worry about working out a way to get there. So yeah, that's really nice. So for some of the newer players out there, obviously COVID brought in a massive sort of influx of new people, and whilst we don't have local events back yet, I'm sure we will eventually get them. But there's going to be, I would imagine, loads of people that are attending their first regional, especially over the next season. Outside of, I guess, play with barrel, because otherwise we'll just see with barrels everywhere. Is there any sort of tips for someone who's maybe not just going to their first Worlds, but just their first tournaments over the next few weeks and months?
Yeah, like every time when I give some advice, like number one advice is don't get annoyed from your unlucky draws or something like that.
Yeah.
But also, don't blame everything on luck. Like, you need to see your mistake.
Yeah, there's elements of skill and luck in part of the game, obviously, and being able to analyze where you could have maybe done something slightly differently to increase the likelihood that you draw into a card or whatever. Even if you then still don't get it, it's still luck-based. Like you say, being able to analyze both of those things and react on both of those is really, really important.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like, I blame everything on luck and they can never improve, and that's like a big mistake, big issue.
For sure, that makes sense. So yeah, other than that, I mean, congratulations once again. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give? Obviously, you mentioned a lot of people you were testing with. I know you and Milo test a lot, but yeah, do you want to give any shout-outs before we sign things off here?
Yeah, for sure I would like to shout out Joe Bernard, because it was like the first guy that brought the Decidueye idea to me, so there goes that. And then all my CCG team.
I'm sure he will be appreciative of the mini shout out there. Unfortunately, he is not here with us today, but I'm sure he will appreciate that. But yeah, congratulations again. Fantastic result. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this again in 12 months' time. You'll be a back-to-back winner. You never know. But yeah, I guess if nothing else, we've got a nice year, or you've got a nice, relatively chill year if you want it to be chill in terms of going to events and just playing as and when you want to. So yeah, congratulations. Thanks so much for joining me. Hopefully you guys... Thank you. Hopefully you guys learned something from some of Ondrej's wise words there. Make sure you drop some congratulations down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you guys in another video tomorrow. Cheers.